And in brand representation is the element that I will say that is the most where we can push more our business in. Like there has to be a brand coverage, like a brand reach. We have to be on the places that matter for AI, but also that's not only to rank on AI, it's also to give credibility to the users that go to those places. So it will also further develop your branding just by being on those places that users go. And it will also signal AI answer engines that you are kind of relevant. So this is where relevance plays, and but also recency and most other factors that come into this. So a little breakdown on this, like the consistent presence was, I understand that sometimes business owners can go by, I don't know, by one platform at a time, and once you get to the last one is like your brand has had some changes and your message is not consistent. So something to keep in mind is that to keep your brand representation in the best shape possible is to keep your brand consistent across all of your channels and your websites and your directories, communities, and everything where your brand shows up. The indexability aspect, as we mentioned the last call, is the way in which you give access to your brand to your people involved in your business, what service or product you serve. And that's also like you open the door, but you also make it easy for these machines to understand. So you have to have proper labeling, that's why schema markup is about putting the right labels. But the next level of the schema markup, rather than just being labels, is also entity relationship, which is the things that we see here. Internal entity relationships could be what this author is in the business. He will be the CEO. Other people would be the technical people, the marketing people. We could have that relationship show up in the schema markup structure in a way that machines understand that and are able to really give proper answers as to what happens inside of them. So we often think from the front end perspective, like if I read that you are the CEO, I can imagine that the other people, what other relationships are between them, but the machines don't understand that. So we have to make sure that the meaning of your business and the relationships that we take for granted are also translated into the labeling, the structured data. This is again the levels of indexability. This is really important because the end goal is not only to have access your website, to have access to your data. It's also to be able to understand what kind of things we have in there. But the end goal is to have really defined entities. And the way that you define your entity is that you make sure that it has a home. So for example, if your business have an about page, it should be about a person that could be related to the other profile. Like the CEO should be on the about page, and the articles that the CEO writes should be attributed to him with a specific schema markup. And there's also the same as property and schema markup that will be linked to his LinkedIn, his YouTube channel, and everything that you can get a hand of, because it will reinforce your entity in search engines and also on the answer engines like that. It will give these machines clarity as to define that you are that specific person that does everything that you have been sharing in those other profiles. That also translate into the Google knowledge piles and other resources that kind of amplify your presence and in search results and answer engines at whole. These are the building elements of brand representation. We have gone through them. So we need to have a good enough brand reach. So we have to be on the places that matter for AI, but also our audience. We have brand recognition. We have to show ourselves. We have to tell people what we do, how we do it, and what are our specific features and pricing and everything that is important for them. And also at the end, we have to manage reputation and be able to measure what the sentiment are around our brand and what could be issues or some things to tackle when reputation goes wrong.